Hi everyone, Karen from Stitches and Things. Today I want to talk to you about shawl shapes. Or shawl, shawlette. We're not talking about the granny kind of shawl. I've got a few little examples here. When I'm talking about shapes, I'm going to give you 3 shapes that you can make with almost no pattern. And at the end, I've taken a photo of my examples and the shapes of them, and I've left it sit there for a little while. So be prepared to pause it and take a screenshot or a photo of it so that you've got that and you can put that in your kit because it's such a useful thing. All right, so let's start with our first shape. So this is a shallow triangle. It's very, very long, very, very long. And generally we wear these like a little scarf. Now this one is 2-ply cotton, so there's not much to it, but it is very nice to wear regardless of what yarn you make it out of. The shallow triangle, I've made these out of mohair, I've made them out of whatever you like. This one here is a few rows of garter stitch and a few rows of yarn forward knit together. You can knit the whole thing in garter stitch, you can put whatever pattern you like in it. But the main thing with this one is we're casting on 3 stitches here, and every single row we are increasing at the start and the end of every row. That's it. To get your shape, cast on your 3 stitches, increase at the start and end of every row. If you want to put some patterning in, that's fine. Put some patterning in, but to get this shape, it's as simple as that. So if you've got scrap yarn to use up, this is a great one because you're starting here. Leave enough, so long as you've got enough yarn to cast off, you can finish it off. So this is quite a nice shape to wear because it's a bit more scarf-like. Now the next one is a deep triangle. So usually the deep triangle, and this is crocheted, so I couldn't find a knitted example of it, but the deep triangle, and I'm going to call these arms, has, because it's almost I guess equilateral triangle, has shorter arms. This one's quite a big shawl, but to get it long enough to wrap around your neck, it ends up quite long here and quite bulky around the neck. I like to wear them front ways. If you want a shawl or something that's going to cover your back, then this is the perfect shape for you because it will will cover your back. But that is the deep triangle. So the secret to the deep triangle, we're going to cast on, imagining this is knitted, we're going to cast on, same place, 3 stitches at the start. And with this one, we're going to increase at the start of every row. That's it. So by increasing just at the start of every row, same thing's going to happen. It's going to get bigger, bigger, bigger. And just leave enough yarn to cast off and you can use up all your yarn. So that's any ply, just use needles that suit it. But I like with any of these things to use a bigger needle than recommended, just so they're a bit looser and squishier. The last shape that I'm going to show you today, which I threw on the floor, is the asymmetric triangle. So the asymmetric triangle, it's a bit of a weird shape. There is a photograph of it coming up. So that's laid out on the floor. So to make this one, we start at this little pointy end of this one, and it kind of goes on a bit of a diagonal all by itself. It's another one that's a little bit deeper, sort of an in-between, but I like, these are my favourite shapes because they kind of go a bit sideways. They have a bit of interest. This one's quite simply rows of garter stitch and a row of holes, rows of garter stitch and a row of holes. This is a 2-row pattern. So what we're doing on this end, we're increasing. On this end, we're knitting 2 together. And then when we come backwards, we're just knit backwards and we're increasing on this end again. So this side of the shawl, there's an increase on both rows. And on this side of the shawl, there's a decrease on one of the rows, which means we're increasing 1 stitch every second row, but because of the way we increase and decrease, it kind of goes a bit sideways. So the beauty of this is, and here's a scrappy one that this is one of my car projects that I have been fooling with. I've used the principle of the asymmetric triangle, and I have got 2 different coloured yarns that were leftovers from something, and I have just been fooling with different textures, bit of colour work, bit of, I don't know what that is, just fooling with, when I get bored, just rows of garter stitch, rows of stripes, whatever, but it's still got that asymmetric shape to it. And that means that when my yarn runs out, I cast it off. So this will, when it blocks out, it'll be a bit interesting, but it's just the same kind of, I've got some little points on it there. All I've done with that is as I've done these, I've increased a few stitches in the middle of the row till I've increased about 6 extra over that many rows, and then I cast off 5 or 6 stitches, and it kind of gives it a bit of a step. But this is just something I just mindlessly fool with in the car, just cook up different rows, different patterns. You can fiddle with it, but just keep those principles the same. It's the same with any of these. You can put anything you like into them. But yeah, so this one's I'm using up 2 lots of scrap. One was I think the fluffy one's alpaca and silk, and the orange one is wool and silk. So they were just 2 100-gram balls of stuff that I had. So are you ready to pause? Because I'm about to show you the pattern. So no, I'm not going to show it to you like this. I've actually put a still photograph rather than a wobbly one that I'm going to hold up. So at the end of the video, have a look for that one. But these are great ways. So this one here had 370 meters of 8-ply, but I've used quite big needles on it. So it is nice and loose and squishy. But most things, just keep knitting till you run out. And if you've got a lot of yarn, you're going to end up with something big. If you haven't got a lot of yarn, you're going to end up with something not so big. But it could be striped. It could be anything. Just use up your yarn. And you've got those basic shapes to work with. Put any kind of pattern repeat in it you like. And have some fun with it. So just stay tuned after I say goodbye. And I'll put that pattern on here for you. All right, that's it. Use up the scraps, people. Ready, set, go, hit pause, and then you can write down what you see or take a screenshot. Be quick, hit pause.